Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? This is Big Zest here, and we are back with another video. We are continuing to play Star Citizen, as you guys can see here. And today, we are in a shop. This is called I believe it is, what is this? This is Center Mass. Oh, this is Omega Pro. This is the Omega Pro shop in New Babbage. And in here, we have a lot of different components for your ships on sale here. So this is probably the one-stop shop that most people come to in New Babbage to buy components. If you want to buy components, this is where you're going to come for your ships. They have almost everything. And there's also a third-party tool, a website that you can use to find out what type of components your ship would need or should need. So for example, this is called, let's actually just go to the home here. I think, yeah, so let's just go to Urkel. Yeah, Urkel.com. I think it's just Urkel.com. No? Okay. So I'll leave the link in the description on this video. But you make an account, you log in, and you get to this home page here where you get to select what kind of ship you're using. So for example, right now I have my Zeus Mark II ES because that's the ship that I was trying to get components for. But let's go ahead and reset. Press this reset button. So here is how the Zeus Mark II ES would be configured in its stock configuration. You only have 22 power available, along with Omni Sky cannons, things like that nature. Here in this section here, you can see how much DPS with the gun configuration, how much damage it would do DPS wise, and burst damage that it would do. I would say burst damage is more accurate or something that's more important, because when you're dogfighting or when you're fighting ships, you don't necessarily get the opportunity to shoot a ship for a very long time. So burst DPS is what's that number is more important, because you get a certain burst of damage on it, you reposition and they fly right by you, whatever it is, and then you want to give them another flurry of DPS. So but anyway, what you do here is you click on each category. So right here, this is a gun. Okay. And in this section, it's by default, it is categorized and it is sorted based on the relevant DPS. As you can see here, it's going down in number. And once you select something, so for example, on my Zeus, I actually put CF Rhinos on there. Okay, so we're going to select that. All right, and over here, it'll tell you where you can get these guns. So if you're going to look for shops that are in the Stanton system, these are all the areas where this gun is available and for how much. Okay, so New Babbage, it's actually the cheapest. Right? So New Babbage, not only is it the place where you can get most guns, there's another shop, you can also get all the components. And so the components over here is what we're most concerned about. So the components that does not have, you see here the little shop icon or little cart icon is grayed out. These are components that you have to get by salvaging or by looting. And so the best components are going to be components that you find in the universe. But the best shield that you can actually buy, which is going to be here, the 7MA Lorica. Okay. This particular ship has 4 of them. And here it shows you all the places where this shield is available. So we are here in Omega Pro in New Babbage. It's all the same price, no matter where you go. So you go ahead and just look at this list here. You find whatever component that you're looking for in particular. This is going to give you the best power output. So as you progress in the game and you're using this website to find out what type of components that you might want for your ship, and you're looking at certain stats. For some people, certain aspects are going to be a lot more important than others. Because right now, with this configuration, I have really good power output. I have much better burst DPS than I had before with their standard guns. I have a lot more. Yeah, I have a little bit more power output, so that way I can put these energy pips to have full shields and to have full guns, all that stuff. And lastly, okay, we also want to ensure that we get a better quantum drive, so that way we're not. You can either choose to find a quantum drive that's going to get you to a certain place a lot faster, or you can find a quantum drive that's also going to be much more fuel efficient. Personally, I like quantum drives that are fuel efficient, particularly for this ship, because this is the exploration model. It has more quantum fuel, and with it having more quantum fuel, I want it to stay in the verse a lot longer. So you just got to think, what is the purpose of whatever ship that you're trying to configure, and find the components that's going to best suit its purpose that you have in mind. There's also something to mention, something to note. Each component, depending on the component, will either raise or lower your signatures. Okay. So my signatures with this loadout, my components have raised my signatures quite a bit in comparison to stock. So let's go ahead and reset this. So yeah, it's raised the signatures quite a bit in comparison to what it was before. But like I said, the trade-off is a lot better for me, because especially when it comes to the quantum drive and having a little bit extra power, this ship is not necessarily designed for PvP per se. I just want to be able to explore the verse and be able to do that, without issues with lowering power in certain other areas. So that's how you use the Urkel system, or this Urkel website, to find out where you want to get components from. The quantum drive here, this particular quantum drive, is only available in the Crew L1, Crew L5, or Orison. So it's not available in New Babbage, but it shows you where you can find it. All right. So for me, I've already went ahead and bought the components. And what you would then do is you would open up your Mobi-Glass, select vehicles, and then you would select the particular vehicle that you want to modify. Okay. So you click the Zeus here. And as I mentioned, I already put all the stuff on there. So we already have the Himari, we already have the Lorcas, we already have the Genoas, all that stuff that we selected previously. So we're going to head back to the shuttle station, and we're going to head out and do some exploring with the Zeus ES today. I, in my previous video, stated that I was going to do a little tour of the ES, because in the last video we used the CL. The difference between the CL and the ES, as I stated in the other video, the ES is the Explorer version of the Zeus, the CL being the more cargo-oriented variant. I would say the main advantage is, again, having more fuel. Fuel is important for exploration. You just get to stay in the universe a lot longer, and you don't have to worry about refueling as much. So when you're doing certain tasks such as mining, or you're doing scavenging, you're just exploring, having more fuel is going to be a lot better than not having that much fuel. So we're going to be looking at the ES version today, and we're going to go ahead and skip all the way over there. It's going to take a while for the train to arrive. All right, so we are here in our hangar, and this is going to be the ES version of the Zeus. So it looks pretty much the same in a white color scheme by default. The main difference between the Zeus ES and the CL, as I've stated multiple times before, the cargo bay. So as we see here, the cargo bay of the ES is much smaller than the CL. You can still get a mining rock and a GEO and probably a bike and some storage over here. You still have plenty of space to do everything that it is that you need to do in an ES as far as exploration is concerned. So no worries there. I need to put my helmet on. Sometimes things glitch. Okay. And go ahead and heal myself. Alright, so now that we're in the this area here, right after the cargo area, to the left, just like with the CL, you have your habitation area with a bathroom and some beds. You have storage lockers. You have a bench here, which the CL doesn't have. So it's a little bit more luxurious in that aspect, and comfortable. You do still have a kitchen, and the kitchen is actually bigger. So you have a much bigger space to maneuver in. A little bit more storage area as well for certain items. And in here, we pretty much have the same engineering area where you have other components here. You have suit lockers. These are things that are not functional in the game yet. Your airlock, and then your bridge with more components, weapon racks, things of that nature. The ES version does not have a tractor beam. So this co-pilot seat just has access to a remote turret. Same thing with this one. So we're going to go ahead and head on out of here.
Welcome to Rocket Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
And there we go. So now that I have upgraded my components, I went from 22 available power to 24, which allows me to put full power in the guns, full power in the shields, still have my engines on, and have everything else running as well.
Take off complete. Landing gear
We
ready.
might have to wait a little bit. With this current event that's going on, New Babbage is a very popular area, and so going out of the hangar and into the hangar, there's always some type of waiting period that you have to wait out. So I'm just gonna wait for that door to open. I'm already in nav mode. Once it opens, I can just blast off like a rocket ship. In nav mode, you don't have access to your guns, so it doesn't really matter how much power you put into them. I would just put all the available power into engines, so that way you can go as fast as possible, have the best acceleration. Another aspect to note, well, as you can see on the top left corner, the available quantum fuel and the available hydrogen fuel. So the hydrogen fuel, you get 93. I think with the CL, you get 66.5. So quite a bit more there. And then for the quantum fuel, you only get 1.8 on the CL, where here you have 2.6 almost. So quite a bit of a decent bump as well. Still not as much as the Corsair, but price-wise, this Zeus is a lot more affordable than a Corsair is. All right, we're ready to blast off. Zeus is a pretty good looking ship, gotta admit. Okay, another thing to note, the Zeus ES is slightly faster than the CL as well. The nav speed is 1100 millimeters per second, where with the CL it's only 1000. So that's also a bit of a plus. The ES version is also, as I stated before, a bit cheaper than the Corsair and the CL version. The CL version of the Zeus, I think, is like 6.4 million, and the ES version is 4.2 million. So you save quite a bit of money on buying the ES version in comparison to the other two ships. And let me go ahead and double check that here. So on Urkel, you can select the ship, and once it's selected, you can scroll down here and it'll show you. So yeah, CL down here, 6.4 million AUEC. We have the Drake Corsair. We have 6.2 million AUEC. So the CL is actually more expensive than the Corsair. Wow, forgot about that. Okay. So this is actually a cheaper ship to get in comparison to the CL. And then we have the ES, which is this one here. Yeah, 4.2. All right, so the next thing that we could do and should do, let's go to... Now we're going to have to go back. No, actually, let's not do that. Let's go to Aberdeen, because I wanted to do some... Well, you know what? I did forget something. I forgot to get my storage box, because today I wanted to do some more mining But we're going to be doing mining in a environment where the temperature is a bit more extreme. And so you need a specialized suit in order to successfully mine in these particular areas. But I left all that in the elevator at New Babbage. I hope I don't have a long queue to get back in there.
As promised.
Yeah, there's a queue. While we wait, my biggest critique about the RSI ships is that the beds, they don't work as intended. So if I can't necessarily say for every ship, because if you have a bed in a ship, what you would want to do is you would want to have the ability to log out. So this one doesn't give you the option to exit the bed with pressing F, so that way you can have that log out option. We can demonstrate that in another ship like the Corsair later. But the benefit of being able to get into bed and do what they call bed log is that basically you can just live out of your ship. You can take your ship to a specific location. For example, you're mining, right? You're mining, you're exploring a certain area, and you don't want to necessarily have to go all the way back to base. You just hop into your ship, probably go in the atmosphere, or if you're on a moon or something like that, you can just stay on the surface, go into your bed, log out in your bed, so that when you log back into the game, you start right back where you left off, instead of at another space station or spaceport where you then have to travel all the way back to where it is that you were. So bed logging is a pretty valuable asset to have in a ship. And so it's especially when a ship has beds in it, like the Zeuses, both of the Zeuses, the ES or the CL. It's just unfortunate that they don't work properly at this current time. But other than that, they're pretty cool ships. I have a couple other ships that we can look at later on, and possibly some other videos, just to weigh the pros and the cons of those particular ships. But well, like I said in the previous videos, the Corsair basically has been my daily driver, the one that I like to utilize the most. Because all the functions and the
Hello again.
features that
I think you
we've
already
been
have a space
discussing.
assigned to you. Yes, there it is. Feel free to go ahead and bring in your vehicle. Hello
It
again.
actually worked. So they're saying that they already assigned a spot to me, but I don't see it. I'm probably still in a queue, waiting to get in. Okay, there we go. I hope it doesn't glitch to where it impounds my vehicle. Sometimes that happens too.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, it didn't happen. That's fine.
Landing complete.
Nicely done. We can take care of your vehicle from here.
There we go. There is the box I was looking for. And these are all the stock components from my ES after I upgraded it. So I'm going to bring that up. Okay, so with this box, I would like to put in the corner over here, so we can leave this area free for vehicles later. So it'll stay put. Okay, cool. So in this storage container, I have two different suits here. So this here is the suit that I was talking about in the other video. This is the Pembroke suit. And as you can probably read, it says that it has a temperature rating range from negative 75 degrees Celsius all the way up to 225 degrees Celsius. The Nova Kov suit is basically the exact same thing in the inverse. And it's rated up to 75 degrees Celsius and negative 225 degrees Celsius. So the Novikov is for very cold planets. The Pembroke is for very hot planets. This is absolutely crucial for the place that we're going to be going today, which is Aberdeen. Aberdeen being a very hot planet, and that hot planet reaching temperatures of up to 200 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be absolutely necessary for us to have that suit on later on. I don't have it on right now because the suit that I have on right now just allows me to run around a lot quicker. I put the heavy armor away because I'm not doing any FPS type stuff at the moment.
Take off complete.
Okay, so we're going to head out now. Go ahead and hail. Hopefully there's no
You
waiting.
should be good to go.
Oh my goodness. There's always a queue right now. Almost touching the ground. Almost touching the hangar door. What? Someone spawned in my hangar for a second. All right, I'm going to tab out here for a second because another resource that can be used to look at certain things is called SC Trade Tools.
Prophecy while
So that's going to be, yeah, this website here. So SC Trade Tools, this is just if you're into trading, depending on what it is you're trying to trade, usually commodities or certain cargoes and things like that, or if you're trying to plan your routes, this is a very useful tool to utilize. So for this particular event that's going on, it's very useful to be able to go to the commodity section and you can look up, for example, Bexolite. Okay, because that's one of the items that you need to buy or that you need to obtain for the current event that's going on, and then to bring it to a specific location. So we can go back in here. We go to contracts, priority. So yeah, it's for the collect mission. So you have Laranite that you have to collect. You have Boraz, Bexolite, Decarl. Yeah, it's things like that you gotta get. And then that website is very useful to find out where you can source these materials from or buy these materials from, most likely. Pressurized ice, cement. Okay, Port Tressler. So this is right above Microtech, actually. Yeah. I've been shying away from the collect missions just for the time being, mainly because the market is just really crazy. Everybody's trying to do the event right now, understandably too. So the event, it's not going anywhere for a while. It's here to stay until March, but you can definitely do some transport later and also do a lot more defenses. Those are always fun to do. But the collections I'm shying away from just for the time being. Okay, so the hangar request has been completed.
Thanks for visiting New Baggage.
So where we should go is we should go to a facility that's labeled like, so like Shubin mining facilities. All these Shubin mining facilities on most of the planets are areas where you can pick up ground vehicles. So there's 3 particular vehicles that I would like to get. My Rock, the GEO, and some type of mini bike or hover bike. So let's go to this mining facility.
Auto drive is now on. Auto drive is now off.
What do you mean it's off?
Auto drive is now on. Auto drive is now off.
try a different mining facility if we can find one. Okay, let's try this one.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
It would have to be much higher. Let's get out of atmosphere, and then let's try to jump. Let's just jump to like Port Tressler, and then try to go down to a Schumann mining facility.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
And maybe that'll work. Okay, so this should work now.
Quantum drive is now on.
Yeah, I just had to get out of atmosphere. I'm still new to this game, guys, so I'm learning as I go.
Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, so let's turn. Okay, we are coupled, so that's good.
Shields are on.
So what we're looking for on these facilities, let's turn the light on. What we're looking for is an area, yeah, right there. So it's a little shack and then two small little plots. Oh, I don't have my landing gear down. All right, now they're down.
Landing complete.
All right, so let's go ahead and get out of here. This will be the easiest exit.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
So we want our GEO.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
We want the rock.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
And we want a pulse.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
I think the pulse will show up first. There we go.
Vehicles, please visit.
We're going to need to open this up.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Right, that works. And then we just need the rock and the GEO. I have to wait a little bit for them to show up.
Welcome.
I might be
the
able to
ASOP
expedite
vehicle
one of
retrieval
them.
System.
So that's 1 minute. 1 minute 40.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Let's expedite
Your
the rock
insurance claim
because
has been
by the
sent.
time
Your
that
vehicle has been moved to our
I'm
storage
done loading
facility.
this one, I can get the
Vehicle
GEO.
select, please.
Okay.
And please visit again.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicles, please.
There we go.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Perfect. And we should be able to close this. And we should be able to get on that way. So yeah, ES, you can fit a rock, you can fit a bike, you can fit some storage. Everything that the CL can do, and even the Corsair, if you're trying to do this mining loop, you can do it with the ES. So, just trying to show you guys there's value. You don't need to buy the more expensive ships if you're only interested in certain game loops. Okay.
Engines are on. Takeoff complete.
we're just going to take off the backpack that we have on. We're also just going to take off this suit, put this suit on, and this helmet on. And then we can put on all the other stuff that we had. Put on a backpack as well. We're going to need that. Okay. Doing this combine ammo method automatically loads all the magazines onto your person. Like a lazy way to equip all your ammo. There we go. So I got magazines. And let's go ahead and put that back. What else do I need to equip? I need to put on this and this. And my character should eat. Just a little candy bar. Okay, helmet back on. Maybe we just got out of quantum. Yes. Perfect timing. Aberdeen is going to be this way.
Auto drive is now on. Auto drive is now off.
So the reason why Aberdeen is so hot, and I just love the design of this whole, solar system. So Hurston, which is this planet, Aberdeen is one of the moons, and then you have Ariel as well. Hurston is one of the planets that's closest to Stanton, so it just makes sense, right? The closer you are to the star, the hotter the planet's going to be. So that's this ring here. Crusader is moderately hot. Then the planet that we just came from, which was Microtech, that one's really, really cold. It's further away. Makes sense, right? We're gonna just... It doesn't really matter where we go. We're just gonna jump to a certain place. Any place, just to get down to the surface.
Auto drive is
And
now
then
on.
we'll just start doing some exploration.
Quantum drive is now off. Radar contact.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't want any smoke, so let's go this way. bit, get out of there. Just fly away from the main sort of place a little bit. There's some notes there. Wonder what that is. That is Femeline, I believe. So this is a pretty valuable cluster here. Actually, we're going to just power the ship off so we don't give off any EM signals whatsoever. I don't want people seeing me at all. But before we get out of here, I want to look up one more resource. So this website called Regolith Rocks. Let's just go to the dashboard. We'll do that later. So we go to data and rock type or rock or FPS mining ores. That's what we're looking for. That's the type of mining that we're doing. And so with this, we are near the Hurston area. So we're at Aberdeen right now. And in Aberdeen, Femeline and Handonite, Genolite, these three are the most valuable resources that you can find. The plot that we just found is Femeline. So this is a very, very, and I really do mean very valuable mining that we can do right here. The other moons, the other video that we were doing, we found a lot of Alpharite, Baridom, Dolivine, Glaucosite. These three, these are not as valuable, but they're very plentiful. So coming to Aberdeen, you're going to find a lot more of the more valuable resources. But in order to do so, you need to make sure that you have a specialized suit that I have on right now. All right. It's also good to note and to mention Aberdeen is the planet where... Wait, did somebody shoot the ship or something? Why is this broken? Why does this look broken? Okay, anyway. Right, anyway. This is the planet where the prison is located. So you may run into criminals a little bit more often because this is where they reside. This is where they'll either get broken out of prison or go into prison. Okay, so we're just going to do some mining here. 60%. Uh-oh. Okay, so the 60% does not work on Femeline. Good to know. The more valuable the resource is, the more delicate they are. Okay, so let's go on low and let's try 50%. Because that started clicking way too fast. All right, low's not powerful enough. So we're going to go back to high, but we're going to go down to, let's say, 20. All right, let's slowly increase it. Okay, so about 30% is all right. Gotta be real careful. Let's go back down to about like 25. Okay. Nice. So we'll keep it at around 25%. It'll cook eventually. I just don't want it to explode on me and kill me. Maybe it's a little bit too low. So let's cook it up on 30%, and then we'll maintain the 25. There we go. I'm just checking my surroundings real quick. Okay. I just thought about it. Maybe it's better for me to keep my light off. Oh no. Was overcharged for a little bit too long. Hopefully I can get right back to my ship and get all that stuff. All right. We're just going to cut all this out. I will jump to the part where, well, we'll find out whether I can reclaim it or not. Okay. I was able to successfully recover everything. I utilize my Drake cutter ship. This ship is the first ship that I ever owned. So if you're going to get this game, you have to buy a certain game package. The Drake cutter is one of those packages. This was on sale when I purchased it during the holidays. And I really like this ship because out of all the starter ships, in my opinion, this ship gives you not necessarily the best versatility per se and to do everything, but it gives you the best versatility in the sense of having the biggest cargo space, along with having a bed, a shower and stuff. Even though this particular gameplay is not in the game yet, it's going to be important later on. Storage. So you can do a little bit of everything with this ship. The guns on it are not the best, but anyway, you get the idea. And the thing about starter ships is that they never go away. So when the game gets wiped or whatever it is, you always are going to have access to your starter ship. You're always going to have lifetime insurance. You're always going to have this particular ship. So it's a great ship to be able to have for a lifetime. So here's my dead body. I'm going to get all my stuff back. And that, also all my food. All right. That's that. Now we can just go yeet. Okay. Continue. And all my family deposits are still there. Okay, maybe not all of them. Not all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and extract what we can. What I don't want to happen is one of them blow up on me again. Play it safe. Stay in the lower half. Right. It wasn't showing the charge level, so I wasn't sure whether I was overcharging or not. Jump away real quick. Okay. Sometimes when it does this, you just have to reposition yourself, maybe. No? Okay. So we'll just take it out. Press and hold F, and then right click. And let's go ahead and pick it up. Hold F, right click, then there we go. And we put this back in here. Hopefully it's not glitched. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be repaired. So this needs to be repaired. Got some components over here that need to be repaired. Open button right here? No? Or is it over here? Hold on. Oh yeah, the power is off. That's why. Let me turn the power on.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check. Shields are off. Shields are on. Weapons system is on.
Okay, so now we can open these up. Man, when that thing exploded, it just damaged everything. Okay, I think I got everything now. All right, so we should be able to get back out there. No more explosions, please. Thought that one exploded a little bit too much for a second. It's not showing the level, and I don't know how much I cooked it. Just jumping away. Okay. Let's try this again. I guess those ones are just a glitch. Or I'm just too full right now. Need to go the other way. So it looks like I didn't really need to bring the rock. The GEO is working for now. At a certain point, usually the GEO stops picking up rocks, and that's when I have to, collect with that. But it's working right now, so. Okay. I did not put the other cluster away. Yeah. Okay, good. Another reason why the cutter is such a great starter ship, because you can actually fit the GEO in here. Most other starter ships, you're not able to fit it. So just imagine, you got yourself a GEO, park it right here. You got some storage boxes, maybe like a 2 SCU box right there. And so you got your GEO, you got your box. You could even put a Mirai Pulse, one of the motorcycles, the really small one that I have in that ship right here. You can still get right by. You can do the same game loop I'm doing right now in this starter ship. It's a great little ship. good. The GEO just working. I like that. The cargo's resetting. Sometimes it just gets stuck and it just doesn't want to go there. Yeah, if you don't have to bring the rock with you, perfect. Expands your variety of ships that you can use. You can take a ship as small as the cutter, or maybe something else to your liking. Okay. Friendly. So 2 more rocks left. And then we're going to actually go, utilizing that regolith rock site, we're going to go to the station that's going to give us the best bonus, and we'll see how much we can make. Sounds friendly.
Engines are on. Take off. Landing gear raised. Check fire. Check fire. Check
I'm
fire.
going to try to blow this up.
Check fire.
I mean, as you guys can also see here, the cutter could take a beating too. I think out of all the starter ships that are in its price range, it actually
Check
has
fire.
the highest health pool as well. So it's no slouch. If you find yourself in some trouble, you can get out of there. It might be disabled now. Hold on. If it'll let me scan it. Nope, signatures are still on there. Okay, power plant is destroyed, so it's offline now. Signatures are dropping. Yeah, light blossom is destroyed. Okay, so it's disabled now. So once a ship is disabled, it's just a sitting duck. It's pretty impressive that it can take this much fire and not blow up. I had to do like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 volleys of 75 rounds each. You're gonna really take a beating, man. All right, well.
Check fire.
And a missile. And it took a missile.
Check fire.
And it took another missile.
Check fire.
Another missile.
Check fire.
It took 4 missiles and over 750 rounds of CF Rhino size 4 guns. I'm telling you guys, get if you're gonna get a starter ship, get the cutter. It could take a beating, carry quite a bit of stuff. This is insane. It still didn't blow up. Five missiles.
Check fire.
6 missiles. Seven missiles. Eight missiles. Finally. All right. Cutter commercial is over. So let's get the regolith. Okay, so we are going to go to her L1, L2, L5, any of these locations, and try to sell.
Quantum drive is now off. Shields are on. Landing gear deployed.
Okay, we got the rocks in our inventory here, and so let's head on over to the settling platform. I am so slow in this suit. And it's not like regular armor where you can take the arms or the legs off. It's just, you take the whole suit off or nothing. So I don't want to necessarily run around naked, but alright. So where is the commodity place? Usually in the Galleria somewhere. Might be on the top floor over here. Yeah, over there. So, her L1, family, cannot sell. Okay. Why can't I sell it? All right, so we're gonna have to go to some other station. Maybe let's go to Everest Harbor because that's where I've changed my what do you call it? I've changed my primary base to Everest Harbor instead of being at Baijini. So we'll go there. Okay, so we have made it to the commodity section here in Everest Harbor. We have our line in our inventory here. Gotta scroll all the way down. And hopefully, there we go. Yes, we can. We can sell it. So, one unit is 357 AUEC. So, 106K. So, a little over 100K for only one batch. That's not bad. Obviously, we died in the process, but I don't know. The amount of time that it took us to mine all that stuff and the skill that's incorporated in it. I mean, obviously, if you're out in the verse and you're going to an area like Aberdeen with this particular suit, and you're going after only the most precious gems, you can make quite a bit of money. So it's definitely a much more relaxed playing style, but it's really good for you to have. Either you have, a medical ship, so that way if you die, you can respawn right in the ship. So like a Cutlass Red or a Pisces, something like that. Well, maybe not a Pisces because you can't take a Atlas GEO with you. But in a Cutlass Black, you can definitely take a Rock or a Atlas GEO. Or you can take something like a Corsair and put a Nursa in the back. That's something that we can explore in a later video. But until next time, guys, we're just going to go ahead and end the video here. Stay safe out there, and peace.